Welcome to the Tweak of the Week. Coming up, we're talking about building upper body strength for more effective push-ups in Chaturanga Dandasana. I'm Tommy Larkin, owner and chief experience officer of Optimal Movement Fitness and Yoga, and I'm super excited to share today's tweak. Welcome back. Thank you for joining me today. Over the years, I've found many people avoid doing Chaturanga Dandasana simply because they either don't understand the real benefits of the pose or perceive they don't have enough physical upper body strength. Giving an A for effort in Chaturanga is not really a fair thing to do. Without developing proper control and maintaining the posture of the pose, your efforts really just continue to lead to bad habits, potential injury, or simply remain a rapid transition move from plank into upward facing dog. So let's first overview Chaturanga Dandasana. The posture is one in which is held in the lower position of a push-up, where the body is a long danda, which means a staff, like a long straight stick, and you hover above the floor at the height of the elbows. The pose is challenging for sure, but one which greatly benefits the entire body and mind. We enter the pose from a plank position with straight arms. On an exhale, we lower down towards the floor, keeping your forearms perpendicular to the floor. Sounds easy, but the challenge is keeping the legs strong, not letting the hips sink, and maintaining engagement in the core abdominals and not rounding the shoulders. Well, maybe it's not as easy as it sounds after all. Chaturanga Dandasana requires a great deal of upper body strength, not just from the pecs and arms, but more importantly in the upper back and mid portion of the back, plus around the rib cage. In fact, this really is the key to overall strength within the pose, which brings us to our actual work of this tweak of the week. Now back in middle school gym class, we used to do push-ups. All the guys would laugh and boast how many each of us could do. Then we would bang out 15 or more in a challenge without any issues. Not much different from today when guys get together at the gym, except now you have some ladies who can outperform these guys. Which brings me back to the other part of this middle school story. What I did notice is the girls would do the push-ups on their knees, mostly because of lack of upper body strength. We would laugh at the guys who were not the jocks and did it the same way, saying they were doing the girl push-ups. Now, I'm not so proud of all the not so smart things I've done over my years. But this one is actually an important part of being able to do Chaturanga with more ease, strength, and confidence. The thing to understand here is this variation is not necessarily easy and there's nothing girly about it. As a matter of fact, it can be quite challenging in its own right. Its benefits are directed precisely to where you need the most development of muscular prowess. As a result, it's really a quick path to doing Chaturanga and other variations of push-ups and arm balances, to name just a few pose types. So let's get to it. A few things to note as we prepare for the movement. The first is the core and the belly needs to do the cat action. You also need to keep the lower front ribs drawing into the body and towards the sit bones. A caveat to this is that it doesn't matter how low you can go. If you sink the hips, then you gain no benefit from the movement. In the chest and upper back, we are working on doing cow. The depth of lowering down is not past the height of the elbows, and a caveat to those two issues is if the front of the shoulders or the head of them round, you need to stop there and re-engage the shoulder blades towards each other while maintaining the action of the core. Your wrist crease need to be parallel to the front of your mat, and the elbows should stay next to the torso as they bend, so much so that they feel like they are touching the side of the ribs. Come to your hands and knees and make sure that the wrist crease are parallel to the front of your mat. Then straighten the legs into a plank position with the shoulders in line over the wrists and the heels in line over the toes. Without letting the heels move too much towards the hips, lower the knees to the ground. On an inhale, perform cat in the abdominal region. As you exhale, add cow in the upper chest and back. Now take a slow, easy inhale. As you exhale, slowly lower about halfway to the floor. As you inhale, press back into the plank position with the knees still on the ground. I sometimes like to take an extra breath in the cat-cow to make sure I am fully staying engaged and present in the process. It's completely okay to simply do multiple push-ups here without adding that extra cat-cow, but it can sometimes be helpful if you're losing the containment and the integrity of the process. So now let's put the 3 extra movements together without the extra breath. On an inhale, perform cat in the abdominal region just to reset the belly. And as you exhale, let's put cow in the chest as well, so that you can have the full integrity of the pose. Now take a slow, easy inhale. And as you exhale, slowly lower down about halfway to the floor. As you inhale, push the floor away to straighten the arms. As you exhale, slowly lower down about halfway to the floor. As you inhale, push the floor away to straighten the arms again. Exhale, slowly lower about halfway down to the floor. And as you inhale, once again, push the floor away to straighten the arms. Great. You did a great job. I highly recommend you build from doing 3 to start with up to about 10. When practicing Chaturanga Dandasana in your regular practice, do the pose as above with the knees on the ground. After you hold the pose for the appropriate exhale, you would simply lower to the floor and then inhale into Cobra or lift up into Upward Facing Dog. If you like today's tweak and would like to see a specific topic, pose, or exercise covered in our Tweak of the Week, shoot us an email with your idea or question. To do so, just visit the Connect page on our website, omfay.com. That's omfay.com. Also, as a reminder, we're initially sharing the Tweak of the Week in our newsletter, Get Optimized. So if you want to be among the first to receive each week's tweak, sign up today. You can do so at the bottom of each page on our website. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed what you've learned and that you're having an amazing day. And let's get optimized.